Well, let's look at this big developing story today. Certainly the country and the world watching this one closely. We're heading now to NASREC, where the ANC NEC committee is expected to meet at NASREC, south of Johannesburg, to discuss the Phala Phala matter amid some calls for party president Cyril Ramaphosa to resign. Let's go there live now, where we believe that the president has been asked to recuse himself from this NEC meeting.
National Congress, to make sure that in the robustness that we engage in this special National Executive Committee, we do everything else in our power to make sure that the ANC comes out of this ANC NEC much more stronger. We did confirm to yourselves that our Treasurer General, who's responsible and in charge of the Secretary General's office, will be talking to yourselves to give you a fuller brief of how the meeting has been going up to this far. We had a National Working Committee meeting yesterday. The President had attended that National Working Committee. We had an NEC last week Friday, which could not conclude on its business. There was a request that the fuller complement of the NEC should sit, including the President. The National Working Committee made a determination that, looking at the issues that will be discussed and the request made by the President, that consistent with practice, it is only fair that we recuse the President. So once he has delivered this political overview, we then allowed the President to leave the Working Committee. He also came in to greet members of the media, again an assurance that the ANC is very much at one as it relates to how it manages its own internal dynamics and all of that. We know that the release of the Section 89 report has attracted great public interest as it relates to the future of the African National Congress and its leader in the person of the President. We can assure you that the ANC is capable of managing all of this. We have done so in the past, and we are going to do so now. When we emerge out of this NEC, the Treasurer General would outline what is the position of the ANC to assure the citizens of this country that the ANC is still very much alive, and to outline and direct what our members of parliament are expected to do next year, tomorrow when they go to the National Assembly. So the President again asked to be recused. The NEC has accepted that recusal. He has been recused. You saw him. He came out again and waved at members of the media as he left. If there are developments that warrant us talking to yourselves on the conclusion of this National Executive Committee, we'll do so. We'll take you in around just after lunch to go and do the cutaways, and then afterwards you will have an engagement with the Treasurer General, unless there is something pressing that members of the media want clarity on, which we are here to clarify. Conference of the ANC starts next week, Friday. Hopefully most of you who are here have gotten accreditation.
How do we know?
You will know. If you have applied through the channels TD, you will know. Or if you have not received any notification. So if you have not received any notification, but you have made application, I think from this week on Wednesday, Thursday, we'll start sending out the updates. There are media houses that did not apply, or that applied late, because on the closing date, they were not in the country. We had said that we will sit in a meeting to adjudicate those late applications, and then we will make our decisions known. There are also wannabe media houses that have sent applications when they don't exist anywhere. So there's a lot of them. There are more than 200 of those. So that's what, we have done an assessment. So we'll give a status update to the public on wannabe media houses that don't exist. They only exist. So if there are people out there who want to be part of the ANC conference, there are ways to attend the ANC conference without having to lie about coming from the media. Even yourselves, where a media house is deploying a team of stringers or freelance journalists who may not have the necessary press cards but have got the assignment letters, do make us aware. Because I think your accreditation is on the 14th. Is the 14th? So from next week you start getting your accreditation. So guys, please, we are not going to be doing any on-site application to be accredited. If you miss out, so by Wednesday we will publish a list of all those that are going to be accredited. We'll share the same list with the SSA and our accreditation team. If you don't appear on the list and you are a paying TV license holder, do what other people do. Sit at home and watch. It's not going to make you less of an individual. So, yes, it's very important to say it here. No, we don't want, I mean, we have got our own delegates that we have to deal with, those that will be bringing disputes. So we,
constituencies that we are having the conference for.
Yes, that's why so that's why we're going to publish. We'll share with you the list of all journalists that have been accredited, so that if there are problems, you can raise them prior. No, you see, yourselves are not very much affected. The affected ones are the ones who concoct status and wants to come here on the grounds that they are coming from media houses when they are actually not. So I'm asking yourselves to work with us on dealing with this one. The other one that the NWC and NEC said I must request is that please work closely with the ANC DIP where you want comments from the ANC. They don't have a problem of you talking to anyone you might want to talk to. But on official organizational matters where we sit in NEC and invite yourselves, they requested that please allow us to be the ones that convey decisions of the ANC. The risk is that when you talk to many others and rely on many different leaks out there, individual cadres, whether they are NEC members or not, are at times tempted to deposit their views, even when those views have not been a full embrace of meetings. To help you, your listeners, your viewers, your readers, your followers, please refer to DIP. Because then we make the Treasurer General available to talk to yourselves. And when you make calls to us, especially during this period, do not choose who you want to talk to convey decisions of the ANC. The Constitution of the ANC empowers the Secretary General's office to be the only one that is the custodian of communicating decisions of organization. In the absence of the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary General, the NEC, in its wisdom, empowered the Treasurer General to undertake such and fulfill such responsibilities. Please, because what happened on Friday was quite unfortunate. NEC members complained that you went to them when they are in their cars, you came running to them with cameras. They can't stop you when you are there because no, it's rolling. What is it, Amos, that language that they are live, you know. Journalists, they say, no, but when they come to us, they are already saying they are live. Now, they don't even know what to do, because if they don't talk to you and you are live, they appear inhumane in the eyes of your viewers. Live view. So please, if you want to talk, if you want decisions of the NEC communicated, talk to us. Let me tell you the implications of your actions. You confuse the markets. You make bureaucrats panic. Serious? No. Okay. No. By the way, not every journalist is an economics reporter. Those that write that report on business will understand this. Let's just listen, because you see, we did journalism. So when you study journalism, not all journalists are business reporters. That's why you've got Business Day. That's why you've got Bloomberg. That's why you have got newsroom. That's why you've got ENCA. That's why you have got general reporters and sport reporters. You are not all sport reporters here. Your beat is politics. So there are those who report business. So those who report business are alive to the fact that when you write or send out, colleagues, can we listen to each other? Because we must forge consensus. When you write or send out confusing messages about the ANC, it creates confusion to society out there. We don't have to agree. The minimum consensus we must forge with the media is that refer to us. You don't have to agree with what I say, but refer to us. We are always available. You don't have, even if you don't like us, but at least on this position, don't worry. By next week, I'll be done with my work. You will have a new spokesperson. But for now, let us help you do your work. Even if you just ask me on the side, what journalists sometimes refer to as off the record, for as long as it's official off the record, I will help you. Pule, when is the meeting sitting? Because it's outside the meeting, we can regard that as off the record. I will tell you they are sitting next week. We have got an NEC that is sitting on the 9th. On the 9th, we've got an NEC. We've got a last NEC that sits on the 14th. So we'll process reports, credentials, and all of that on the 9th. And then on the 14th, we'll do our last NEC to now sign off on all other things that are outstanding. At that time, we expect journalists to all be accredited. We've got a business lounge. Now, let me explain, because some of these media colleagues were not there. I get some of them, President, so we have to help them. So we've got a business lounge. In the business lounge, we are going to make available various booths that the media can use for coverage. Radio, podcast, television, TikTok, everyone is going to have that space for as long as they are accredited. Our expectation is that for the business lounge, Amos, we try and ask or appeal to media houses to send mostly or primarily those journalists that are actually covering business as their beat. But anyway, we can't dictate, but it would work better. Throughout the business lounge will operate as a media space throughout as well. So over and above the media village we are going to have, the business lounge can also be utilized for that purpose. So if you want to still talk to various other personalities that will be invited to talk at the business lounge, you are welcomed to be around the business lounge precinct. I hope I've clarified all other issues. They will have their own accreditation cards. So an accreditation card is only used by yourself. You don't go home and say, myself and my younger brother look alike. I want him to go and see conference proceedings. No. When you come, only yourself who has been given an accreditation card. Because, guys, if someone uses your accreditation card and we find that they were given that accreditation card by yourself, we may also press criminal charges. That's how serious it is. So there is no, if we find that someone was given your accreditation card by yourself and they used it to come through, such individuals can find themselves with some criminal record. So let's just be clear. Respect the space. Make sure that when we are accredited, only yourself uses your card. So we'll be here together from the 16th until the 20th. So it's a full, almost a week.
Mr. Manda.
Yes.
Did the president give a political overview in the meeting? And during his political overview, did he ask himself to be recused? What was the process of him being recused in the meeting? Did they vote? Was there general consensus? What transpired? And who complained about us journalists asking NEC members questions on Friday? Who are those people who complained? Can we know them?
It's a police station. This is not a police station. We don't do that. We are just telling you what is being raised. It don't have a number nagi fitla ki gosiba. Mokete barile soga ram meeting. Ye go sebams. If I've clarified that NEC members raised a concern, I get you know who you spoke to. If you are one of the journalists who spoke to people, you can start reading them. Mara o akasebolele o akabolele. Because it's yourself, some girl who spoke to them. You know who you spoke to. But just know that they raised concerns. The ones that you spoke to raised concerns. The NEC itself did so. To come to your question, we said, actually, Samgelo, it was actually you, because you've been covering ANC activities for a while. You said so, that is the president going to sit, seeing that these issues that are going to be discussed also revolve around him. So it followed that we applied that practice. So imagine this. Comrades have to discuss a report that involves you, and you are in this meeting. Some of these comrades, I mean, the president of the ANC is not just the president of the ANC. He's the president of the country. So whether Qaeda is a minister or not, they must feel free to speak in the meeting. We do it all the time. When there are issues or a report being tabled involving individual cadres, whether it's the president or not, it is courteous to ask them to be outside such meetings, so that you give the meeting the space to reflect on issues without feeling otherwise. So it was really out of that and Damaseko.
The last one, Mr. Masa, can you just give us a comment on the speaker refusing ATM's proposal to have voting tomorrow in secret ballot? The ANC's view.
Well, I do not know that. I think the speaker would have exercised their own discretion, But also, there is a very and it's a very interesting, dubious understanding from political parties that if we do secret ballot, people might vote with their conscience and sell out their parties. Agirbanna, you were voted by 7 people. Why do you think that you will get more votes? Stick to your 7. You want new people through a secret ballot? No. Let 7, let your 7 vote for you. Because this one of wanting secret ballot is to believe that you can get extra. South Africans went to the polls and gave you 7 seats. It means you have got 7 votes. You need a secret ballot because in your own imaginary thing, you might get extra votes. No. I don't know why the speaker exercised the discretion in that way, but I'm just saying political parties have to start being alive to the fact that the size of their majority is what they received at the polls. Don't look for a new majority through secret. Because when you want a secret ballot, it means you want a new majority. Your majority is 7. Mara wanaunya 50. Mara le 7. No. Stick to your 7.
Are you afraid that some MPs like Supra Muhammad Pilo will do what Mondiku Ubele and Terikani did to Jacob Zuma and vote with their conscience?
Well, why should we be afraid? Why should some girl? Basically, we are now member of NEC. You are preempting what the NEC is going to say. Why did we call a meeting? The NEC is sitting. If we knew what this NEC is going to decide, some girl would not have convened a meeting. We convened a meeting because we want to seek the wisdom of the collective. You understand, Maseko? So we convened the NEC in order to seek the wisdom of the collective. Once we have solicited the wisdom of the collective, we will convey and communicate to the public the decision of the collective. As spokesperson, I don't speak on my own behalf. Even if something happens which I don't like, I get a meeting because something different happened. When I'm here, I have to reflect what are decisions and undertakings of the meeting. That's my role. I'm sure you are all clarified on accreditation, on the NEC, so that if you want to stand from the floor, you know what's required. 25%. You want to stand from the floor? You need 25%. Okay, no, thanks very much. I will bring in the TG. I'm always with yourselves. So let me bring the TG to come and talk to you at the right time. So if there are any other updates, Amos, that requires the attention of the media, we'll deposit those.